Hey everybody, October 26th, begin with the starter please. And what you can see is you can see a repeat question here. That for me, if I'm a student and I see a repeat question, that's going to tell me that, hey, this content is really important. So take a look here. Question one is not repeat, but it's still a must know. Okay, so I'm using my starters in a way to kind of give you some sample quiz and test questions, some must know content that you can use to refer back to and review at any time. Okay, so which of the following best describes the Enlightenment? So read through that. And again, you got to choose the one that best describes the Enlightenment. Okay. Um, and then the next one, here's where you get this repeat question. Match the Enlightenment thinker with the best description or contribution. Just the same as, I believe it may have even been last class, right? So Thomas Hobbes, you got to find out which one really matches the ideas and contributions of Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, Montesquieu, Rousseau, and Voltaire. Okay. Give you 2 minutes to do that, please. All right, y'all. I'm gonna submit that and let's move on here. Okay. Um, okay. Move on to the next thing, the summary page for today. All right, today we're moving on to the French Revolution. So our objective is to identify the causes of the French Revolution. North Carolina Standard Course of Studies to compare the sources of power and governmental authority in various societies. So we're going to look at just kind of the government and the authority of France before, during, and after the French Revolution. Units still Europe, and we'll be in here all quarter up until winter break, and then statement of inquiries, ideology impacts interactions. So again, if I'm looking at this one in the French Revolution, if you're a French citizen and you're tired of the king having total control over you, your ideology, your ideas, if you believe that everybody has these natural rights that John Locke believes in of life, liberty, and property, then you're going to be ticked off, and your interactions with the leadership of the country are going to be different than if you just assume that you just need to follow whatever the king says. Okay, so that's a way that this lesson will relate to the statement of inquiry. Synchronous work today, the starter, 39, we're going to begin 39 causes of the French Revolution, which you should now have in your digital notebook, and then the ticket out the door at the end of class. Your asynchronous work is to complete page 39. Complete page 39. So here we go. Get into page 39. So here's how this is going to work. This is kind of digital notebook slash kind of quiz from a video. And this is an informal assignment, but I want you to go to page 39 in your digital notebook. I'll do that as well. I'll open up in two different tabs here. So I'm on page 39. If I go to page 39, I have a graphic organizer that kind of just divides up or chunks up this video. This video is only about 5.5 minutes long. But what I want you to do is chunk it up into minute time frames so it's not overwhelming. This gives a lot of content pretty quick, but it's all really, really good, and it's all very applicable to identifying the causes of the French Revolution. So what I want you to do is, again, like a minute at a time, okay? Watch the video at the bottom of this page, use the graphic organizer on page 39 to take notes, use the video and notes to answer the questions, okay? So go ahead and click take the quiz, and you're going to see the questions. There are 10 questions. They go in order. And they go in order. I don't know if y'all use Edpuzzle in some of your other classes. It's almost like an Edpuzzle built into Canvas. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. And you can read the questions in advance if you want. But if I'm you, I would start watching the video. As it plays, I would just type notes.
What rights do people have, and where do they come from? Who gets to make decisions for others, and on what authority? And how can we organize society to meet people's needs? These questions challenged an entire nation during the upheaval of the French Revolution. By the end of the 18th century, Europe had undergone a profound intellectual and cultural shift known as the Enlightenment. Philosophers and artists promoted reason and human freedom over tradition and religion. The rise of a middle class and printed materials encouraged political awareness, and the American Revolution had turned a former English colony into an independent republic. Yet France, one of the largest and richest countries in Europe, was still governed by an ancient regime of 3 rigid social classes called estates. The monarch, King Louis XVI, based his authority on divine right.
Now, if I'm looking at that there, right? I know that was super quick. I just wanted to model that for you. But yeah, I wanted you to see like how simple that can be for you to take notes. Okay, you can go back and add a little bit, but if I'm looking at that, right, that's a good overview of the first minute. Talking about the French Revolution, talking about 1780 to 1800s. The focus, this movement, intellectual movements called the Enlightenment that leads to this, that values reason and human freedom. Okay, we had a growing middle class, new printed materials because of the printing press, and the American Revolution was happening at this time, and France still had 3 social classes that were called estates. Okay, so if I'm looking at that, that's the kind of like, you need, again, a minimum of 5 bullet points per section, per minute of the video. Right there, real quick. Yeah, 8. I got 8 bullet points. Super simple. I could maybe even, I think that could kind of go together. I could add in here growing middle class. Okay, something like that. Get simplified a little bit. And then you have minute 1 to the second minute, third, fourth, fifth, and the last 39 seconds. Even though that's 39 seconds, I still need 5 bullet points. Super simple, super concise. Okay, and then what I would do if I'm you, take those notes, read through the questions, and answer the ones that apply from that first minute. And again, if we didn't get to what the question's asking, then you probably haven't got there in the video yet. And I would just do a minute at a time. Okay, so that's what I want you to do during your asynchronous time today. Okay, very straightforward, fairly simple. Okay, all right. Let's go, y'all, to the ticket out the door, please. Ticket out the door. And the score you get on that quiz is the score you get for the assignment. Okay, it's the score you're going to get for the assignment. Also, make sure you're getting the 5 bullet points per section. There we go. Take it out the door. All right, what is today's objective? All right, here's a good one. I'll give this one to you. What should you do if you have a technology issue submitting or completing an assignment? So let's say something's not working. Something's not working right the way that you feel it should work. Okay? First option, contact Mr. George and do nothing else. Second one, contact Mr. George, check for a reply, make adjustments based on Mr. George's reply, and complete the assignment on time. Contact Mr. George to let him know so you don't have to complete it, or none of the answers are correct. All right, I'm gonna give this one to y'all. It's the second one. If you have a technology issue for whatever reason, you got to contact Mr. George, and you need to do that before the due time. Okay, and then wait a reply, check for a reply, and then make those adjustments based on my recommendation, and then still complete the assignment, please. Okay, now if there are other issues and things that we can't resolve after communicating back and forth, then that's different. Then I can take that into consideration. Okay, but please keep that in mind. Okay, question 3, what unit are we studying? 4, what is the unit statement of inquiry? And then 5, what is your asynchronous work today? Okay. All right, y'all. Please put questions in the chat, and then I'll be available a little bit longer. Thank you.